Good evening. Welcome to Wheeler Sports TV. Dick Herman here. My lacrosse expert Rick Blair standing next to me. Gino Gang on camera as we get ready for a big one here today, Rick.
Yeah, Dick. Nantucket, undefeated Nantucket team, has had the disadvantage of not playing very strong competition. Speaking to the Vineyard coach, assistant coach, a former player who was a Division I defenseman, graduated in 2003. So when I was coaching, played against him. And he was telling us the Vineyard is kind of the same situation. They're like 15-1, but they haven't played tough competition. And of course, their loss was to Nantucket by a lopsided score. I believe it was 22-4. So, they have some players. Watching them warm up, they got some stick-skilled guys, but physically, I think they look like they might not be able to match up with Nantucket.
Yeah, I wrote down the Nantucket scoring advantages. I don't have it over there on the piece of paper, but in my head, it's something like they're outscoring their opponent like 19-2 on the average this year. And so there has not been any close games, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But
we'll start with the coin toss. The Vineyard, who made the trip over here, will make the call. This is the heads. This is the tails. I am not going to catch it. I'm simply going to toss it into the air and let it drop. So how it lands is the call. So why don't you make the call before I toss?
Call it T. Heads.
Heads, Steve. Heads is the call. And it is. Heads it is. Martha's Vineyard.
We'll take AP.
You want the AP to start? Nantucket, which goal would you like to defend first and third? Okay, first and third. So you're lined up properly. Going to step over here. Martha's Vineyard, spin over this way. So Nantucket, you'll be shooting first and third this way. Martha's Vineyard, obviously, the opposite direction. Steve and I have been around the barn a few times, so we shouldn't have any problems. Any questions?
That designates AP.
Yes. Any questions, guys? Shake hands. We'll see you out here in about 4 minutes. Okay, sweet. Last minute game, boys.
yes, sir.
Alright, so we should have goalie, defense, midi, and attack. Why don't we straighten up the line a little bit? Mr. DiPaolo, Mr. Perry, we're going to be officiating today. Obviously, you're well into the season, so no surprises, I don't think. Just remember, watch the language, keep the mouth guards in, and just a quick warning, I'm sure you've heard this before, Martha's Vineyard, that we might call you blue versus purple when we restart. Outside of that, Steve, do you have anything?
Whistle to whistle, that's how you play.
Goalie started up down the chute. Gentlemen, meet your opponents.
Good luck, man.
Good luck both ways.
Good luck.
Makes me feel important. Okay. Getting underway here, Nantucket against the Vineyard, and you were telling me, Rick, that the Vineyard's only got one loss, and that was to us by a lopsided score.
Yeah, I think it was 22-4. Vineyard up with the face-off. The Vineyard has a gaudy record, but similar to Nantucket, they haven't played great competition. But many of the same teams we play that Vineyard plays.
So Nantucket, unless something crazy happens, is going to end the season undefeated. What type of seed do you think they'll get with an undefeated season?
Well,
what a score!
Vineyard.
Gosh!
Well, don't speak too soon, Dick. Vineyard opens the scoring.
Whoa, that was a crazy shot.
A righty laser by number 7, right-handed attackman. As we know, Dick, sometimes psychology can come into play.
These kids came ready, though. I heard them down there.
Vineyard's playing all their cards today. They're coming back with revenge. They delayed the start of the game at least 10+ minutes. That's always gets the home team out of schedule. When their schedule gets interrupted by the visiting team. That's what Vineyard did today, and it paid off them. They got the quick goal.
Victor Gambroni and Isaac. Loose ball hold on the Vineyard. Nantucket up with it. Victor Gambroni, the senior lefty, one of Nantucket's high scorers. One of several potential Division I college players on this team, and I say that having talked to some college coaches about the Nantucket team. Vineyard. Gambroni with an outside take.
That's got to feel good.
Well, that's what you call an answer, Dick.
Yeah, that Nantucket really needed that. That was not a great shot, but it did its job. It took the bounce, and You can debate whether he's playing in a bounce or not. Usually from that distance out, you don't plan the bounce, but it worked perfectly, and great goal and a great answer.
Yeah, that just we talked about it last time in the Nauset game. This dry field makes the bounces really unpredictable if you're not accustomed to them. Of course, the Vineyard plays on natural turf as well. Now we have Austin Starr with the face, with Bartlett and Gambroni on the wings. Nantucket Bartlett kicks it into our defensive zone. Hickman up with it. Loses it. It'll be Vineyard ball.
Vineyard got hammered, but he got. I think he was out of bounds before the hit came, so there was no call.
The Vineyard's number 11, Sam Wallace, veteran midfielder, one of their better players, a senior. They're setting up a righty dodge from up top. Nantucket's defense has been solid. Nice save.
Big save there. Vineyard set that up nicely.
That was a nice lefty take. Oh, a mishandle there.
Can't do that.
Yeah, the Vineyard's got a little rotation game going on from behind, and they've got a lefty they can feed it to. Now Vineyard returns the favor, throws it out of bounds. Those long diagonal passes are very difficult in the sense that you can't, if you mishandle them, they go out of bounds. You can't back them up. Gambroni, you're running across. He's a very impressive athlete. I've been really impressed with him all year. Down to Spencer West, the senior. Sam O'Keefe over to senior Ty Harnisberger. Up top to, I guess that's James Culkins. Victor with a nice look. And Victor with a nice look over to Terrain Burton, the speedy junior. So basically, Nantucket's two lead players in the midfield have scored the first two goals.
Yeah, Victor got an assist in that. On Victor's goal, did you notice there was an assist? I didn't.
But there was not.
So Victor with a goal and assists, Terrain Burton with the goal, and Nantucket's got a lot of firepower in the offensive end. I think if the defense for Nantucket, and they've shown it, plays up to their part today, it'll be another blowout because Vineyard can score, but it's up to the Nantucket defense. Vineyard's not going to stop Nantucket from scoring.
Vineyard up with it. They're giving Nantucket a handful so far. It's 2-1 Whalers, but the Vineyards had longer possession than we have. McVicker playing behind.
We're in the first period here, 15-minute periods, and boys.
Nice play. Terrain mishandles for a second. The speedy junior looks like Harnisberger. Good look, Ty. Good idea, but handcuffed him and it goes out of bounds. Sam O'Keefe will ride the incoming ball. Crossfield pass is going to go out of bounds.
Field, that's back to us.
Nantucket was in a press ride that time, so that was a very ill-advised pass. There's no way that was going to be completed. Even if it had been in bounds, I'm sure Spencer West would have intercepted it. The Vineyard assistant was telling me that they have a lot of first-year players on the roster, which is really difficult to handle if you're a coach. Coach Chris Green, I should mention, is back with the Vineyard for his second year after retiring for one season, and he's an excellent coach. He's an electrician over on the Vineyard. Gambroni with a lefty drive, gives it up to Burton. Good take.
Big save.
That was a good save there by the Vineyard goalie.
Yeah, I think he got it with his left ankle. O'Keefe brings it on. Over to
that little move,
over to Spencer. Nice look. Nantucket does a great job of dodging to feed, not dodging to shoot. And that really is what you need to do to score against good competition. Nantucket with a press ride. They turn it over.
Man, there's some hustle.
Nice play by Terrain. Kicks it to West. Nice look.
Oh, the pipe.
Bartlett with his long stick. Rockets one off the pipe. Very nice ball movement there by Nantucket. You're seeing Nantucket play in a pattern and just play lacrosse. The Vineyard's running plays, and that in the long run in the game, the pattern team usually succeeds. Here comes West, turning the corner. Nice play.
Oh!
You know,
Punched it in.
you see Spencer making a lot more power type plays around the crease this year. He's really come along.
Yeah, that hurts the Vineyard there definitely because, as you say, Spencer just busts right out like that and scores the easy goal.
Well, you know, that's the kind of play Nantucket's going to need in the playoffs. You have to manufacture some offense with a tough ride, tough on ground balls, because you're not going to be scored in the 6-on-6 as easily against quality competition down the road. A good ride and breaking up some clears is really key, as is scoring on extra man opportunities. Austin Starr takes the face off as usual. James Culkins and Bartlett on the wings. James Culkins has really come along. Bartlett coming down. This is a good time to settle it down, guys. Just show for it. Bartlett comes off and leaves it for Terrain, Burton. Burton has space to dodge. The Vineyard's not a good backup position. And
Oh my gosh!
you know,
Burton is on fire.
well, you know, that was just
What a shot!
Dick, that was a terrible misplay in terms of positioning by the Vineyard defense because Burton was doing a right-handed sweep, and the adjacent player to his right, his teammate, was outside the restraining box, and the Vineyard player was right in his face. He needed to sag in so he could help out.
So that makes the Whalers 4-1 here in the first period. Still 6:43 to go. Does Bartlett get an assist on that? Will he drop the ball right there?
No.
That wouldn't count as an assist. That would be an easy assist.
Yeah, that
That's the
would be.
type I would pick up
Right.
a lot if I was playing this game.
Gambroni back in on the far wing. Starr and Bartlett still in the game on the faceoff. The defense of Hickman, Willett, and McVicker, they've been solid all year. Two seniors and a junior, and the senior Keegan Downey in the goal. This is the first game Keegan's had to really step up and make some tough saves, at least that I've seen, and he's done well so far. Bad feed, picked up. Gambroni has it. Vineyard steps in the crease with a play on. Chris Perry making the call.
During the first period, portion of the first period brought to you by Don Allen Auto Center. New and used vehicles on sale at Don Allen.
Nantucket, they'll give it to a short stick. Gambroni to bring it on. Look for him to run it out, or at least run well past the restraining line. A wide open Austin Starr. I don't think that was what they had in mind. Harnisfager carries, feeds the
Look at
crease.
that little pass.
Oh,
Oh!
boy, that's a
That was.
really excellent ball movement. Tic-tac-toe.
Spencer was wide open. He just couldn't pull the trigger there. And then he got bodied and got off a wide shot.
Once again, they're not running plays. They're just getting in their pattern, which is a 2-2, I think a 3-1-2. Cut it, Gambroni. Sails one high, but once again, nice lacrosse instincts, good ball movement. They're getting the shots. The Vineyard coaches are calling out that they need the ball, but the problem is that I don't think they have the takeaway checkers to. Nice cut by Terrain.
I don't think Vineyard can stop Nantucket's offense. Nantucket makes mistakes in offense. That'll leave Vineyard in the game. Vineyard's not going to stop them.
Nantucket gives an easy clear up there. Vineyard has a guy open on the right side, and they mishandle it. That should have been a goal there, Dick, if that guy catches it.
Yeah, Vineyard will score the goals, so it's up to the Nantucket defense to keep them down. But as you say, they beat them that time, and they missed the golden opportunity to get back in this game.
The Vineyard middies, you know, I've always said, and I believe it to be true, you know, in broken situations, give up the clear and just get back in the hole. At that time, Nantucket didn't do it, and they almost gave up a fast break goal. But here's Nantucket returning the favor with Gambroni in the open field. He takes it lefty. Nice shot by Harnischweger.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Gambroni to Harnischweger. That's Ty's spot right there. I bet you if you mapped out Ty's goals this year, 80% of them are from that little piece of pie on the right-hand side.
So Vineyard has to take a timeout. Here.
Okay, we have timeout on the field. I'd like to mention all our fine sponsors that are bringing you portions of this exciting spring encounter between Nantucket and Vineyard, Boys Lacrosse, UPS Store, Just Do It 2 Sports Fishing, Artistics Tile Install, Keeper's Restaurant, Glidden's Island Seafood. They're under new ownership now. Check them out. Hatchett's Package Store, Dan's Pharmacy, Maurice Toggery, Geronimo and Dirty Paws Dog Wash, The Corner Table, Holgate's Laundry, Arrowhead Nursery, Island Kitchen. New things are coming into Arrowhead Nursery every day. Check out flowering plants. Sun Island Fuel, Congdon and Coleman Insurance, Don Allen Auto Center, Harbor Fuel, Island Lumber, Island Pharmacy, Kitty Murtaug's, the Downy Flake, Joe Rapaki, the Island Package Store, the Sea Grill, Steamship Authority, Jewelers Gallery, Rick's Paint and Maintenance, the Visitor Center, Espresso to Go, Fast Forward, Rider Electric, Outdoor Power, Billy Built Automotive, Cottage and Castle, Nantucket Electrical Contractors, Killen Real Estate, Martin Bork Painting, Santa's Rubbish Removal, Nantucket Health Department, Randy Alford Heating and Cooling, Island Fencing, Island Carpets, Valero and Sons, Faucet Man Plumbing and Heating, NRTA, The Boathouse, Fairgrounds Restaurant, Something Natural, Highland Flooring, Champion Rentals, Island Variety, The Homestead, and the Nantucket Health Club. We thank all these fine sponsors for bringing you portions of this game. And this game was originally scheduled for May 11th, but part of the reason they switched it to this weekend is that the inter-island boats are running. So the Vineyard, the Nantucket team left here this morning, the girls lacrosse and the softball.
We have a flag down for an illegal pocket on the Vineyard player when the stick is held. This an illegal pocket. Let's listen to what the call is.
Hey, we're man down! Man down, boys!
So the 1 minute penalty?
1 minute full time for an illegal pocket. The ball did not come out when the stick was rotated upside down to the vertical. The refs did it several times, so it's not a cheap call. That stick was definitely illegal. Of course, a lot of these sticks are illegal these days because the mesh tends to stretch, and sometimes the stick deforms when it hits the ground. So, a lot of times it's not the intention of the player to have an illegal stick, it just happens. And the way these sticks are designed now, the heads are concave in a lot of the models. So by definition, the stick is, the pocket is kind of too deep by design, but it won't be called illegal because the mesh isn't too deep.
So what you're saying is you don't meet some guy up in an alley up in Boston and say, "Can you fix my stick for me?"
Right. No, you don't do that. They're going to call a loose ball push on Harnischweger. I kind of like to see that, though. It's good to see Ty getting physical this year.
So the clock's moving and they're wasting time.
Well, Nantucket's really
Now
defending them.
Okay.
Nantucket's really defending them there.
Nantucket should be able to ride them effectively because they have the extra man.
Wow, that goalie is...
Good play terrain.
Uh-oh.
They're going to get... I hate to be critical of players because Spencer's having a great season, but he has gotten multiple penalties either for talking to his opponent or plays away from the play. Let's just use our heads, guys. We had an extra man there, and now we don't.
Yeah, nothing infuriates a coach more than having a guy not involved in the play to pick up the penalty, right?
I'd say that's right up there with calling a timeout and setting something up and having the team go on the field and throw the ball away. It's the kind of stuff that turned my hair gray a long time ago. The teams will be... Vineyard's going to have an extra man in 4 seconds. That was an important sequence for the Vineyard Now see if they can make something happen here. Number 8, Colby Zarbon. He's one of their best players. He's being covered by, well, now he's being covered by Willett, man down. Nantucket in their 5 on a dice man down defense. The Vineyard working that left-hand side, looking for a righty cutter. They're up top with a righty shot.
Oh!
Big save there.
That was a nice take. You can see that coming.
What? Where is that going? Oh.
Nantucket has got to be aware of that backside. The Vineyard's got a couple of lefties. They're looking to, including this kid Zarbon, they're looking to feed righty cutters. Now, that's what they're going to do again. They're going to feed some righty cutters with their lefty attackmen. There he goes again.
Oh, he had him too, didn't he?
Mishandles it.
Yeah.
Lefty to righty. And
Somehow they got lucky out of that scrum because he mishandled the pass originally, and then Vineyard picks up the loose ball and cuts Nantucket's lead 5-2. That goal was brought to us by Fairgrounds Restaurant, where friends meet. Family Sports Bar, Pudley's Pub. Check it out at the Fairgrounds.
Nantucket had a really good offensive sequence just before the penalty was called. We're still in the first period here. And the Vineyard called a timeout. And since then, they played a little better. And Nantucket squandered a locked-in penalty, committed a dumb foul, and now the Vineyard gets on the board again. The Vineyard wins a face-off. They're subbing on their offensive specialists. Willett behind. Now we have Hickman. (26, 13, 8, and 11 are the Vineyard's best players.
Oh, nice little grab there.
Yeah, this kid's good. 11, Sam Wallace. I remember his name from last year, Dick, and the year before.
Backside in, Bartlett.
Bart, no, here's McVicker playing him out far. Nice pressure by Nantucket. Bartlett with the loose ball. Over to his goalkeeper, Downey. Looking good so far. Let's finish the play. Nice play.
Throw it away.
Tough throw, though. That pass was a little tough.
He didn't have to hurry that pass.
No.
He hurried it to try to catch him going up the sidelines and cost him.
Yeah, that was a design play where one of Nantucket's middies on the near side stepped into a offensive zone, allowing Spencer to go across to receive a pass, and almost worked. You know, you really want to clear the ball at the settled clears. You really want to clear the ball at, 80%. And your college teams is more like 100%. Nice interception by Burton. That's down loose again. But Terrain comes up with it. His athleticism, something to behold. Here he goes. Good luck catching him. Vineyard smart, they get in the hole. Nice take. I was the St. Lawrence school head coach was at one of the games recently, and this is a guy that talks to Division I college coaches all the time. St. Lawrence has Lawrenceville has one of the best teams in the country. Nice shot.
Ooh, he was wide open.
He remarked, he was talking to Marsh Chambers, who is a Lawrenceville alumni himself, and remarked that he thought Gambaroni, Burton, and Bartlett could all play Division I lacrosse in college.
That's very...
And he said he thought Burton could be a D-middie for any team in the country right now. And this is a guy that knows recruiting. Nice hustle, Spencer. Atones for his little mistake before. Good job.
Burton is a great athlete. We've seen it on the football field and on the basketball court, now on the lacrosse field.
Well, the Division I coaches in lacrosse are looking for athletes. They can teach them to be better lacrosse players, but you can't teach them to run a 4.340. Good take, lefty take by Burton that time.
You can't teach speed.
I mean, you can make yourself a little faster with weight training and flexibility and so forth, but it kind of is what it is, Dick.
I found that out at a very young age. That I wasn't going to win too many road races.
They didn't call you Flash Herman?
There was one nickname that did not come my way.
Righty take by Gambaroni, the natural lefty. I'm impressed with this team in the last couple of years. So many players on Nantucket are comfortable playing with their offhand. Spencer West, Sam O'Keefe, Gambaroni, all of them. And that's so important. Here's Spencer. Turns the corner. Oh.
Oh, that was a good save. Spencer scored on that same exact play earlier.
This guy can motor too, by the way.
Yeah, 11's fast.
Oh! He's really fast.
Nantucket was trying to get the bodies on him. He did get the shot off. Just bounced wide, high.
As soon as you see that ball coming downfield, you've got to pick that ball up with in the top of your triangle. Okay.
So we have played one period here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. And it's your Nantucket Whalers leading Martha's Vineyard 5-2. We'll take a short break and be back with second quarter action. Second quarter getting ready to go out here. Nantucket's up 5-2. I mentioned 15-minute periods. I was wrong on that. It's 12-minute periods.
12.
You didn't correct me though.
I was probably...
You were being nice to me today?
I didn't want to make you look bad, Dick. It's 15-minute in college.
Why not? I want to know why not.
Vineyard up with it. The Vineyard is winning about half of these face-offs today. That's the first time we've seen that this year.
Oh, he wipes out and... Yep, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Nantucket with a 5-2 advantage. The Whalers need to make this a bigger cushion. You know, they don't want to see this be a game in the fourth quarter. Well, crossfield pass over to McVicker. He's got some room if he presses the issue. Nice ball movement.
Ooh, that looked like it hit part of the post or something. The way it come out on that angle.
That was almost a goal.
Oh, look at that pass. That won't work.
Good communication by the Whalers that time. Harness-Figger went over. When Calkins yelled to him to go over, he's going to stay back. That's a good sign. Good organization out there in the riding game. You know, I was talking to the coaches before the game about the possibility of resting Victor and/or Terrain on attack and letting a couple of their attackmen play some middies later on in the season when the weather's hot. And actually, they kind of said they had thought about that. It wouldn't surprise me to see it. Here's Gambaroni with the lefty drive. Runs through a crowd. Cross-handed shot.
Oh, he's wide open.
We're hoping it gets hot around here soon. Spring is a long time coming. Summer's almost here.
But when you go to the mainland in the playoffs, I remember one year I made the kids wear sweatsuits all week in practice because it was in the low 70s. We went up to Hopkinton, got off the bus. It was almost 100 degrees. Wow. You know, and we lost a tight game. Because that game started at 3. If we started it at 5, we might have won. Nantucket's ride out there again. The Vineyard stick skills are impressing me. They're not particularly flashy, but they're efficient. As I say that, the kid drops it. Nice check. Good job, Nantucket.
Wow, he gets it right in the back. And
You know,
I'm wondering how many fans came over with the Vineyard. I don't see many in the stands over there. I don't know if many fans
Might be a few here,
traveled with them. Well, you might have a few parents here, and you might have a few parents at the baseball game, and then there's some JV games coming up. But there's 2 games over in the Vineyard today, too. Softball game at the Vineyard and the girls lacrosse at the Vineyard.
not easy to get over there these days, is it?
Well, the inter-island boat, that's why they changed the date. So the boat went from the Vineyard to Nantucket.
Oh, it did.
And then they will be over there this afternoon to take Nantucket back. The Vineyard kids will have to wait a long time here. They'll have some time in the island, but it'll be fun being downtown watching the Fagawi people act up, and they'll be entertained.
What time are you heading down there, Dick?
I'll be going down around 4:45 to go to St. Mary's.
Oh, you're going to church.
St. Mary's, yeah.
Nantucket out there playing defense. Their first. Calkins in for.
Oh, nice little takeaway there.
Nantucket had their second midfield group out there for a second. That's good. Give their first guys a rest. That's going to be really important at playoff time. Up to Gambaroni. Nantucket can use an extended possession here. The Vineyard teams, Dick, over the years, and this goes back to when we first had lacrosse, they always love unsettled situations. You know, scramble balls is the way they like to play.
Who started playing lacrosse first? It was a Vineyard, correct?
We started the same year.
Same year?
Yep.
Interesting.
1997. The Vineyard beat us at our first year as a club team. The first game, the second game here, we beat them, and I remember that because I was calling the game. I think Trey Wolschlager scored the winning goal.
Oh, there's a name from the past.
Yeah. That team had Chris Gardner, Porter Fraker, Jordan Seitz, Nick Lepre, Anthony Coletti, Jamie McCoy. That was a good team.
Well, you remember all those kids.
Rick
Pretty
Sirocco.
impressive.
I can tell you where they went to college, Gino.
Wow.
Impressive.
That mind, who knew?
We should go on the Rick Blair walking tour and see what else he can tell us.
Well, I mean, look, imagine him on Jeopardy for a second.
Get him on
Speaking of Jeopardy, have you seen that guy?
that guy. Jeopardy James is great.
Oh, that's how you do it, baby.
Nice take. That's a nice
I missed that goal. Who got it?
Terrain unassisted. Nice 13-yard take by Terrain Burton. You know,
That's his third.
when he gets his hands free within 14 yards, it's probably going to be a goal.
Now, Rick, when you take your walking tour, do you take your group through the lobby of Nantucket High School and show them all your lacrosse trophies that are sitting there?
I think they hid my trophies.
Hid them. I can think of a better word.
I'm like one of those people in Russia. I've been erased. That comrade never was here.
Okay, it's 6-2, Nantucket. 7:55 to go in the first half. So we gotta go up there, Gino. Get the camera out. We'll go up there, Gino. We'll look around the closet, see if we can find any 1997, 98, 99 lacrosse trophies there.
Now Nantucket,
You did not call it time.
it looked like Nantucket got away with a push, and I think the Vineyard coaches have a right to be upset. The Vineyard kid turned his back, but Nantucket, I didn't know who it was for Nantucket. Might have been Spencer, but somebody gave that Vineyard kid a hard shove out of bounds, and they gave the ball to Nantucket.
And the close official here was asking Nantucket if they called a timeout, and they didn't.
No, they didn't. I mean,
A lot of confusion
why
there.
would you call a timeout with a 6-2 lead halfway through the second quarter?
But I'd like to mention the other official is our good friend Chris Perry. We haven't seen him much this year, but he's doing the big game here today.
There was some controversy about that, Dick, because
Oh, would you say so?
well, there's a push. Spencer gets another push.
Was Chris officiating back when you were coaching?
Oh yeah, Chris and I played for the same college.
Around the same time?
No, well he was a few years after me. Good timeout by Chris Green, the Vineyard coach, to save a possession. Nope, he turned it over. They didn't give him the timeout. You know, if I were the Vineyard, I would not be playing terrain outside the restraining box. I'd drop in and slide early. Gambroni with a hard high take, misses by a matter of inches.
A lot of discussion going on between this official and the coaches on both teams here. He's keeping his eyes on the coaches as well as the game in the field.
Yeah, well, at the Vineyard, Nantucket won 22-4 despite being man down for something like 10 minutes. And, that's a
head. That's a head.
Still no possession, okay. They'll blow the whistle now.
Both officials threw the flags on that one.
Somebody got it right in the head.
That's
We could see it and hear it up here, yeah.
That's a rule change, Dick, up until, I guess it was 3 years ago, with a flag down, the minute the ball hit the ground, the whistle blew. Today, the defensive team has to pick the ball up before the whistle blows. And like many rules, that started at the NCAA level first. I'd love to see the rules be the same in NCAA and high school. It just makes no sense to have different rules.
Well, they usually follow along. Sometimes it takes them a few years to pick up most of them. Yeah.
Well, the big thing is now the NCAA, of course, they have a shot clock, but in high school, just so many school teams wouldn't have that equipment. It's not practical. But I think you'll see it someday, just like you do in basketball. Nice feet inside.
Oh!
Nice save. Nice save. Nice take by Austin Winters. Nice save by the keeper.
How does the shot clock work in the NCAAs?
It's an 80-second shot clock, and you have 20 seconds to get the ball out of your offensive box.
Now, is a shot just anything fired at the net, or does the goalie have to have a piece of it?
It has to hit the goalie or the pipe. That time, coach got the timeout he wanted before.
It's a good strategy, but I don't know how effective it is.
Well, it's a good strategy, but the trouble is you have 2 timeouts and a half. Now, we're in the second quarter, and I think that's his second timeout. So now, you know, if he wants a timeout with 5.5 minutes left to go, he's not going to have one. And to me, in the first half, you don't mind it so much. But as a coach, I really believe in the second half, I always try to save my timeouts because you really want them, you know, in the last 2 minutes of a close game. And you hate to use a timeout because something's out of sorts because of a mental misplay, and you hate to use timeouts to just, you know, inspire or address the team. You want to use them for strategy.
Well, my feeling, you explained part of it, but my feeling, 5:41 to go in a half, you're down 4 goals, you're using a timeout. I think that strategy would be very effective if it was 13-12 and there's like 40 seconds left in the game. Boom, that's a natural. And you see that in pro basketball a lot, where they'll save their timeouts for the last 2 minutes of the game when they call the timeouts to avoid the turnover or to get better positioning of the ball.
Right. And now, you know, now the Vineyard's in a pretty good place right now, given what the score was over there. And I got to say, I'm pretty impressed with them. They're actually reminiscent of a lot of Vineyard teams from the past. They play really well in unsettled situations. They're pretty robotic in the 6-on-6. They score most of their goals unsettled. And they have a couple of lefties who feed righty cutters. I can't tell you how many times I've seen the same kind of sort of setup on the Vineyard strategy over the years.
Portion of this game brought to us by Santos Rubbish Removal. We clean up the island. Go Whalers, Santos.
The Vineyard, are they going to turn it over here? Oh, that's a penalty. Bartlett dove on him. You know, that's a hustle play by Cam, but, you know.
1-5 white. 1-5 white for a minute. Illegal blocking. Body check. 1-5 white 1 minute.
So Nantucket will be down on me in a minute. For a minute, Vineyard trailing by 4 goals really could use one on this man-up situation. They have the ball right in front of the Nantucket, right behind the Nantucket goalie here. Let's see if they can work something and cut into Nantucket's lead.
Conversely, you know, Nantucket's letting these kids hang around, and I think their shots, Nantucket probably has a 2-1 advantage. They haven't finished a lot of opportunities. The Vineyard's been more efficient in their shots. We'll see. Whalers have to clamp down here. A couple ill-advised penalties, a wasted extra man play in that crucial situation have kept this game close. And you know, when you lose a game by 20 goals the first time, it makes you feel a lot better to hang around in the first half and maybe get some inspiration at halftime.
Well, Vineyard's taking a long time to get their first shot here. And their first shot was not a good one. No.
Keegan, get out of the crease. Okay. Keegan was almost in there for 4 seconds. Timeout. Good call, Coach. Coach Sam Aloisi, I think that's his first timeout to save a possession and set up a ride. Things looked a little out of sorts there. You wouldn't want to turn the ball over.
Okay, so timeout on the field, 4:48 to go in the first half. Portion of today's game brought to us by Nantucket Island Pharmacies. We've got you covered in town and out of town. In town, 45 Main Street. Out of town, 122 Pleasant Street. Prescriptions, nutritions, beauty products at Nantucket Island Pharmacies. So is this the Whalers' last game of the year? Oh, they got one on the road. Let's see.
I believe this is the last game, and then they have 2 scrimmages. They have 1 scrimmage against King Philip, a strong Division I team. I think they've only got 1 loss, and these are practice games, obviously for practice. And then I think they might have a second scrimmage as well. And I know a lot of the.
Have they?
Really. Our statistician up here just told me that they might be playing Duxbury on Tuesday. That'd be great to hear.
Ooh.
Great to hear Duxbury. That'd
Are
be
they going there?
Yeah, that's a scrimmage. And Chris Sweet, the Duxbury coach, is an old friend of mine. And Coach Sweet had some of the best high school teams we're ever going to see in the state of Massachusetts, public school-wise, back in the early 2000s. Guys like Max Quinzani, who was a national champion and All-American at Duke. I remember we played them one year, Dick. They had future captains and All-Americans at Yale, Duke, Maryland, and Cornell, all on the same team.
Well, the Duxbury AD is a former Nantucket AD.
Tom Holgate. Yep. Here we go. A breakaway. Terrain takes it over the shoulders and scores. Now, I forgot to mention that, Dick. Yeah, Tom's up there. Tom did a great job here when he was AD. Loved working for him.
He was a middle school teacher for a while. I got to know him then. He was AD for a couple of years, and then the opportunity arose, and he's been up Duxbury from has to be 15 odd years or so.
I remember at the end of one season, maybe it was his first season, I was in his office, and we'd had a good year, and we were talking things over, and I said, yeah, it's funny this year, you didn't really have any parent complaints, and he said, Rick, you had plenty of parent complaints, I just didn't tell you about it. Nantucket will face off a man down here.
He sort of smoothed them over for you, right?
Well, why talk about them when they don't make any sense? The complaints are usually about how much Sam gets to play in the game, and Sam's missed 5 practices. Things of that nature come up from time to time.
I've been there.
I'm sure you have.
When I worked with the great Vito Capizzo, he'd say, well, so-and-so's dad really...
That was the shot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, boom.
Bartlett.
Who got that one?
Cam Bartlett from Spencer West. Bartlett playing with the short stick. And you know what, Dick? I think that's a good idea to some degree because, as I was saying before, Nantucket has to manufacture depth in their midfields. You can't go up to play a Cohasset or a Norwell or whoever it might be with only one midfield group. You have to have your reserve guys in there. And speaking of that, number 21, Ben Murphy, is out on the wing with the long stick where Bartlett usually plays. I'm not sure what class Murphy is. Yeah, junior Ben Murphy, and he's been pretty impressive with the long stick. And that's another thing. Nantucket has to come up with a little bit of long stick depth, just in case someone, turns an ankle or whatever, and plus on hot days.
So Nantucket opens it 8-2 there with a couple of quick goals here in the last minute.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. That should not. Well, what he's going to call him.
2 flags though. Boom.
What he's going to call him for is. That's Isaac Corbett, not the first foul Isaac's ever had. And what he's going to call him for is lining the kid up. You can't take a running start or a body check. You have to be within 5 yards. And if you take a big head start or if you're really violent with your elbows high, they're going to call you.
He was probably watching a little bit of the Bruins Carolina playoffs there. Right. They were lining each other up all day. 8-2, 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Nantucket's going to play a man down.
2 minutes.
We got a 2-minute locked in here.
2 minutes.
And Nantucket, hate to say it, but that's just the second stupid penalty we've had today. And you come in, you're substitute like Corbett. You go out there, and the first thing you do is run and get a 2-minute penalty. You can't do that. That's the kind of thing that can turn the game.
Yeah, because they say it's locked in, so if Vineyard ever catches fire, 8-2, if Vineyard ever catches fire here and gets 2 or 3 goals, they're going to go into halftime psyched up.
And they've been winning the face-offs, so, it's the type of thing I know, once again, hate to be hard on kids, they're kids, but, you got to be smarter than that.
Right.
And you see that happen at the college level. It's just, you lose your head out there, and next thing you know, I mean, the game of lacrosse, I remember in 1978, the U.S. national team, they beat, in the World Games, they beat Canada by 20 goals the first time around, lost to them in the final. Wow. And so it happens, Nantucket had a big win over there. That doesn't make it automatic here.
Oh, there you go. That's
right away.
Wow. How many seconds did that take?
404 to 356, 8 seconds.
Jeez.
8 seconds. There was no face-off on that, so that helped it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's what can happen with a 2-minute lock-in. They ever catch fire and score a couple more, they're going to go into halftime fired up here.
Right now it's a 5-goal cushion. 5 goals is kind of the magic number sometimes, but they get another goal here. As you say, Dick, it's going to make a big difference at halftime.
So the big thing is that who wins this face-off? Vineyard, the bench over there is yelling, and they want to win the face-off and go right back on offense.
And you got to wonder, if Nantucket gets the ball, I would expect them to get their first midfield out there and put it behind the goal and kill some clock.
Yeah, you got to work off this 2-minute penalty, that's for sure.
Bartlett should get this. This wouldn't be a bad time. This wouldn't be a bad time for a timeout. Oh, Sam! Well, here we got a breakaway. Oh. That's a. See if Nantucket help. Nantucket was just off sides and they didn't see it. That
I saw it.
Follow the bouncing ball.
Boy, Nantucket was Harnisfinger stepped off sides and nobody stayed back.
Guys, we gotta kill this.
That's the kind of thing you cannot do in a close game. Terrain's got such great balance. You can call that? Time it. Okay. Well, there were about 3 pushes there. I guess he just decided to finally call the last one.
Burton's going to be a little bit tired after this game, I believe.
Yeah. Gambroni is going to carry it behind. The former attackman, Victor played attack at middle school before switching to goalie for a couple of years. He's a natural athlete. He just had a great season this year. And he can play college lacrosse at a high level. I think he's going to try to play football.
What college is he looking at?
Someone told me where he's going to play football, but I'm not sure if that's corrected. Oh, St. Lawrence. Good school. Okay.
That was a crazy.
Look at Burton and then 30 in the crease area. They're doing
30 seconds on the penalty, but Gambroni's got a beat.
Look at that!
Shorthanded goal. Shorthanded goal by Nantucket. That's a real good play. That's an important goal.
Flag came out though. Let's see if this counts. It doesn't count. He's going to get rid of both 30 and Burton. They were really going at each other in front of the net, and I think that might have helped the goal because it distracted what was really going on.
Well, if that's a dead ball foul.
So he did. No, there was right.
If this is a dead ball foul, it'll go to the team that has the alternating possession, or it should. Okay, it's not a dead ball foul.
Well, they're counting the goal, so that's
Yeah, the goal counts.
9-3.
But before the whistle blew, simultaneous fouls. And this is going to make Nantucket.
2:24 to go. Again, we talked about a long first period. This is a long second period.
This is going to be a 5-on-3 advantage for the Vineyard for 22 seconds. And then the teams will be at even strength.
Well, 30's in the box over here, though.
Yep. The Vineyard's down 1 man. Nantucket's down 2.
Okay.
There's still 22 seconds of that first penalty. So Nantucket's doing everything they can to let the Vineyard back into this.
Well, by getting a shot in the goal, that really evened things up in a hurry as far as the penalties go.
Yep.
Oh, look at that, huh?
Timeout. Coach Al Luisi calls a timeout. He's going to get the ball on the stick in one of his speedy short sticks, I imagine. Now, there's simultaneous 1-minute fouls that are locked in addition to, so the teams would be 5-on-5. But in addition to that, the Vineyard is up one man for the rest of the first penalty. 15 seconds. The Vineyard will be up 5 on be extra man 5 on 4. Then for the remaining about 30 seconds, Nantucket will be. It'll be a 5-on-5 situation. 5-on-5 really favors Nantucket when Burton and Gambaroni are out there. And Dick, that's just like in basketball. When you have longer slides, bigger space between the players, it's much easier to dodge.
Hey guys.
You know, similar to basketball, when you're playing man-to-man defense in lacrosse, it's adjacent help slide. So in other words, your teammate next to you gets beat, you're the help. And when there's fewer players out there, that help slide's a lot longer. The opponent can get your offensive player can get his hands free and score.
Portion of the game brought to you by Harbor Fuel Oil Corporation. All seasons covered by Harbor Fuel. Island Lumber. We cover the island for over 50 years. Check out Island Lumber for lawn and garden, lumber, everything for the home. Keeper's Restaurant, 5 Amelia Drive. Keeper's is now serving breakfast and dinner 5 nights a week, and they also have lunch to go. Keepers, 228-0009. We thank these fine sponsors for bringing you 2:17 left, Rick. This game is really slowing down here.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have a lot of penalties. And Gambaroni's going to run it over. They're not going to catch him, I don't think. No. That could have been a penalty right there.
That's what I was thinking.
You know, as a coach, boy, I hate seeing that when my team does that. Hero checks by the line. They hardly ever work, and you get penalties.
Here he goes again.
Okay, now we're 5-on-5. We're 5-on-5. I'd get the ball to Burton right here.
Oh, Burton's in the penalty box.
Oh, that's right. He's still in
We
there.
don't want him.
That's right.
We don't want Burton to get the ball.
Yeah, my mistake. What I should say is we want to get the ball up top, which we do. One more. Oh, he had O'Keefe wide open on the backside if you'd seen him, but that would have been a tough pass.
Heinesfeld almost scored on that, though.
Oh.
Still Nantucket ball.
We'll be even in 8 seconds. Sandy can turn the corner. Spence, nice shot.
That's how you do it, baby.
West to a cutting Bartlett. That's 2 goals for Bartlett with a short stick. And I'm not trying to say I have all the answers for you, Dick, but I'll tell you, I'm really happy to see the coaches using Bartlett just judiciously a little with a short stick. Gives them extra midfield depth. He's so good with his long stick. He's a college-ready long stick player. I'm not sure he's going to want to play in college, but he could if he wanted to.
Yeah, he's looking good on the offense. I can remember seeing him play probably last year or maybe even 2 years ago, where he'd get the ball on the long stick and sort of want to bring it up, you know. And so you knew he had it in the back of his mind. That's what he wanted to do. Now he's getting a chance of doing.
Well, Jake, if you watch the NCAAs this week, you watch University of Virginia especially play, you'll see long sticks bringing the ball up all the time. They play very up-tempo, and they have total confidence in their long pulls.
I'm picking Yale on an upset. Would that be an upset if Yale wins?
Yale beat them the first time. But Penn State looked good the other day.
Who do you think is going to win it?
It's hard to pick against Penn State right now. But I'll tell you, though, the quarterfinals were so good. 3 overtime games out of 4 games. And, you know, and Penn, who lost to Yale, is great. I mean, there's some really good teams this year. And the Penn coach, by the way, is Coach of the Year in the Ivy League. Mike Murphy, he was down here helping me run the community school camp for a number of years until the community school director fired him, which and now he's Ivy League Coach of the Year. So what's that tell you?
Oh! Wide open. With Sam O'Keefe, he couldn't pick it up.
Nice play, Bartlett. As I said, this kid's good.
He's having
nice
a good
look.
game.
Oh, nice look. Oh, nice save.
Best save of the day.
A flag down.
And then we got a flag coming out.
Okay, flag down.
Hold it! Hold it!
Nantucket's got to hold the ball so they can have possession. Assuming the flag's got to be against the Vineyard. So Nantucket wants to hold the ball so there won't be a face-off to start the second half. 2 minutes locked in. That's a great break for Nantucket. You hold the ball. They'll have the ball for 1:50. or a minute 50 basically to start the second half. There'll be extra. Plus they won't have to face off. Big break for Nantucket.
8.7 seconds. So as Rick's saying, they will not take a shot in this situation. They'll just hold on to the ball for the 8.7, and Vineyard 30. That's his second penalty in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
For you new fans, when a time foul is enforced at the end of a quarter, the team that possesses the ball gets possession to start the next quarter without a face-off. If the ball is on the ground, then there's a face-off. So with only 8 seconds left, if there were 30 seconds left, Nantucket would probably go for it. But with 8, they're not going to. Especially since they haven't been winning the face-offs as consistently as they usually do.
Vineyard coach talking to his big play at 30. 30 is a big kid, but he's picked up 2 penalties
So you don't want to
here.
drop the ball here. Okay, Nantucket gets the opening, gets the face-off, gets to start the second half rather without a face-off.
So we've played 1 half here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. It's your Nantucket Whalers 10, Martha's Vineyard 3.